Good morning, Spartans. We wanted to come to you and just explain something that we are going to be doing on Thursday, May 21st and Friday, May 22nd. To summarize, before we get started and look at those specific days, we have been exploring changes to our bell schedule. And one idea that we have looked at all year long with our leadership team and are interested to at least see is what we call a hybrid block. What that means is that some of the days of the week would be a traditional full day, like we're used to now. Other days would operate on a block schedule where students would only see certain classes on that day. So we wanted to take time on these 2 days and just trial what that schedule would look like and then collect feedback from our staff and students. However, I just want to let everybody know ahead of time this is not a change that, if we were to make, would go into effect next year. This would actually be the 27-28 school year. So that way we have a full year to prepare, work out the kinks, continue to ask questions, research, and prepare our teachers and our students. So just want to reiterate that we are not making any changes to our bell schedule for next year. However, if we were to make this change, it would go into effect the following year, the 27-28 school year. So, with that being said, what our days will look like on that day is on Thursday, all of our students are going to go to their advisory room first. Um, I also want to point out before I get going, actually, that notice the start and end times do not change. So, families, we are not asking you to drop them off or pick them up at a different time. It's just their structure during the day. However, if you are a student that arrives late or leaves early, your time will change. However, when we reviewed it, it is not by much. So, if you traditionally show up for, let's say, third period, that's at a certain time here. Notice it's at 9:02, so you would have to show up at 9:02 on this day for your third period class. So jumping into the days, on Thursday, all of our kids are going to go to their advisory room first. This is so that way we have a consistent place to take attendance if we were to change schedule. So while students go here, this is where we would do our daily attendance as well as our announcements for the day. After that, students would take off for their first period class, and you would see it is a 78-minute class. After first period, they would go to third period. So you can see that the trend on this day is that we would have all of our odd number classes. We would have our Spartan time or advisory after that. And that is before lunch on these days. So students, please pay attention. That is a change. Right now, we're used to going to lunch and then Spartan time, whereas this has us the other way around. After lunch, we would go directly to fifth period. And then you'll see that we're going back to our advisory rooms at 12:17. This is a concept at one of the schools that we were looking at. We're stealing this idea from them, and it's called READ, which stands for Read Every Day. So students, staff, and that includes administration, counselors, secretaries, teachers. Read every day means you have something of print, so not something on a computer, but it could be a magazine, it could be a book that you're reading for class or just for fun, but just something in print. And this is a time for you to read on those days. So that is the expectation during that time. And then after that time, you would go to seventh period. The following day, traditionally, we would not start in first period. We would actually be going to advisory, like I said. However, the way our system is set up this year is we do our attendance in first period. So that's why on this Friday, since we wouldn't see first period, we have to go there to do our daily attendance. So once again, it's just a quick daily attendance as well as moving into announcements. And on this day, you'll see that it is all the even periods. So start with second period, we would then go to fourth. Same concept as yesterday. We would go to Spartan time and then lunch. After lunch, we would go to sixth period. You can see that we have that red time again, that read every day. Same concept, same expectations. Bring something of print, not on a screen, for you to read that day. And then if we were to go to this schedule, we would actually have to go to an 8 period day. So that also is not something we have this year. So instead of going to eighth period, our kids are going back to their advisory, and this is where we have a couple things scheduled during that time. For example, one, we need to collect their exam exemption forms that are due on this Friday, so that will be taking place during that time. We will also be collecting their input from staff and students and allowing them to have discussions about this schedule during that time. And then we will also be doing some work to prepare for exams the following week during that time. So, once again, just want to reiterate this is not a change to our start or end time. This is just simply changing the structure throughout the day. So, on Thursday, May 21st, we will have all of our odd number periods. And then on Friday, it would be all of our even number periods. Students, once again, if you arrive late or if you leave early, we will be working on these times for those 2 days and not your regular times as of now. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.